Hello, I'm Caren Baginski, and in this class we'll be practicing restorative yoga for the solar plexus chakra. This is one of a series of restorative yoga videos for the chakra system. You can find all of those on my website or linked below. For this practice, we will be working on the third chakra, which is the center of self-empowerment and manifesting our life's purpose. As always, you're going to need some props. Gather those up, and I'll meet you back here on your mat. Get 3 to 4 blankets, 2 blocks, a looped strap, and 2 flat bolsters. Let's begin in a comfortable seat. So taking your time to really experience comfort, no matter how you are sitting at this moment with a lengthened spine. And we'll come into the formation with our hands of Vajra Mudra, which is the gesture of the diamond for balancing the third chakra. We'll invoke the energy, the subtle energy of this space with the hand gesture. Take the index fingers and the thumbs to touch, and then touch those tips of the fingers together. Next, the middle fingers come to touch at the point, forming a diamond shape. Curl the rest of the fingers down and in. And then take this hand gesture, pointing the index fingers away from your abdomen. Place this at your solar plexus, above the navel, below the heart. Relax the elbows, and if it feels good, close your eyes. Bring your full attention to the meeting points of the fingertips. And allow yourself to breathe more fully and completely in and out through the nose. There's nothing you need to make happen. Simply watch the process of this practice unfold. Settling now down from the awareness in your head, through the awareness in the heart, to the space of your hands, the center space of your torso. As you breathe into that place, feel a lightness start to arrive. And as you exhale, relax even more. Enter into the space of allowing clarity to come forth. Inviting in the inner wisdom that resides within you always to light the way. You don't need to force or figure out anything during this practice. Just let yourself relax into your true nature. Take one more complete breath in, followed by a slow, complete breath out. And then relax the hands, opening the fingers, setting the hands down onto the knees, making gentle movements as you open the eyes. We're going to grab our props and move into our first restorative yoga pose, which is side lying stretch. So get one of your flat bolsters and bring it widthwise across the center of your mat. And then take 3 of your blankets. You might need less, you might need more. And fold them into a rectangle fold, basically folding them into the shape of the flat bolster. The idea here is when we are lying on our side with our waist snugged into the props, neither the hips nor the shoulders will be touching the mat. They will be elevated off the mat. So that's why you may need more or less depending on your body. We'll sit against the bolster here on the left hip. Make sure you're on your left hip to start. And then lifting up your body, side bend and tuck the waist right into the props. Extend your legs and your arms overhead and beneath you. Take the top leg in front of the bottom leg, and the top arm can nest with the hand into the wrist or the palm of the bottom hand. Relax here into your breath and let your shoulders and your hips grow heavy. Let the head completely be supported by the arm that it's resting on. Maybe close the eyes here. Feel more expansive breath into the whole right side waist. Lifting yourself up as you inhale and settling yourself down as you exhale. Energetically through the breath, the whole body relaxes even more with every exhale. We won't be holding this for very long, so really allow yourself to release into it. Nourishing breath. Allowing yourself to slow down those exhales. Let's slowly bend into the knees and the elbows to transition out, pulling in toward the props. Use your hands to lift yourself up. Now you can go ahead and just flip on around to the other hip, but because I'm going to face you, I'm going to come over onto the other side of the props. So practicing on the other side, make any adjustments to those props to help support you here. Sitting on the other hip, snug your waist and go diagonally straight down, side bending, extending the arms, extending the legs with this top leg just in front of the bottom leg. Allow your ears to soften, your face to soften. Now that your body is draped, go into the practice, closing the eyes and breathing into the whole left side body. Notice that we are side bending around the area of the solar plexus, letting it expand and contract with breath. Allow yourself to really feel into the softness of the props, supported, held, so you can let go. As you take one more breath in and out, bring the elbows and the knees inward. Push yourself up nice and slowly from this side. And then just come to a simple seat. Noticing how you feel as you breathe in and out, feeling that rush back into the side that was compressed. We're going to take the blankets off to the side and turn the flat bolster up lengthwise all the way to one side of the mat. Grab your other flat bolster because we're going to be using that too, and place them in a long line as we transition into supported bridge with 2 bolsters. If you do not have 2, you can always do this with 1. We're going to grab one of the blankets And place that as a rest for the head on a thin fold. This is about a basic fold here. And then grab your strap. You'll want to make sure your strap is looped and sit on top of one of the bolsters. So now that your strap is looped, you can place it around the upper thighs. So just slide each of your legs in and take it over the upper thighs. Then tighten it so the legs are going to be cinched together and you won't have to hold them up when we lie down here in supported bridge pose. Hook the ankles just against the edge of your bolster. Now, depending on your height, you might need to scoot forward or back, but ideally your feet are semi-held here and your shins are supported. And then begin to lower down. I like to lift the tailbone, tilt it underneath and forward just to create more length at my low back. And then as you come down here, the shoulders will be on the floor. The back of the head touches the blanket and the arms can go wide. They could go wide into a T. If that's too intense for the shoulders, they can come down into a V shape. Now check in with the strap because the legs, you want them to just splay and they should be held on top of the bolsters easily with the strap. So you might need to tighten that strap now. Again, the shoulders are heavy, supported on the floor. Back of the neck is long. If this in any way is too intense for your back, I'd recommend going to supported bridge with single bolster. You can find lots of variations in my restorative yoga book or in other videos here on my channel. Once you're comfortable, you can relax your legs, close your eyes. We're going to stay in this one for some time. And I'll give you a lot of space in silence. But before we do that, I invite you to practice an open mouth exhale with the mantra, relax. You'll hear relax in your mind as you exhale through the mouth. We'll do this 10 times at your own pace and then settle into stillness and silence. So for example, inhaling, open the mouth, exhale through the mouth, hearing the mantra, relax in your mind. Continue. And then settle into stillness, closing the mouth and breathing easy. Feel the breath in the nose, the heartbeat. Coming out very slowly from our stillness. Wiggle into fingers and toes. Begin to bend the knees, walking them in toward you so you can reach up, loosen the strap just enough to plant the feet to either side of the bolster. You can choose now to push into the feet and slide off the bolsters toward your head, or if it's easier, just turning to your side, rolling off of the bolster. Push your palms into the floor, slowly rise up, and slip that strap out from the legs. Set it to the side. And let's move one of the bolsters off of the mat. Place it to the right side of you. Other bolster is going to come to the left side of you. So clearing the space in the mat, we've got one on either side, moving into supported supine spinal twist. And usually I would use a blanket for this bolster in between the legs, but sometimes it's nice to create more space for your hips, more relaxation there. So we're going to try it here. If you don't have this other bolster, just grab one of the blankets folds that you had before and use the rectangle fold instead. We'll take another rectangle fold and place that off the edge of the right side of the mat. And I'm going to take this blanket I had for my head and fold it over one more time into a square fold and use that for my head. You might need more or less as a support for your neck. Once you're in place with these props, come onto your left hip. And we'll take the bolster in between the legs. Again, this can be substituted for the blanket if you don't have a second bolster. We'll rest down onto the shoulder, sliding the left arm forward, and then reach around and get the other bolster to snug up against your hips and halfway up your back. Let your head relax on the blanket, and we'll take the hand, this right arm, and open it up onto the waiting blanket at your side. Now, if this arm is hovering in space, I would highly recommend you prop it up more with the other extra blankets that you have. So there's no hanging body parts in air. Everything is fully supported by a prop or the floor. Relax into it, releasing any grip in your inner legs. Maybe closing the eyes as you take the gaze either straight up, over to the left, or over to the right. Just make sure that the head and the neck are completely comfortable. Soften again all the muscles of the face, jaw, arms, torso, and legs. And let yourself arrive and rest. next inhale, find your right fingers and arm. Move them a little. And take that exhale and close the arm back to the side, coming out of the twist. We'll remove the bolster from between the legs. If you have the blanket there, keep it there, hug it, and rock onto your back. And now you're just gonna push the right bolster down and pull the left bolster up. We're gonna practice on the other side. So just give it a moment for your low back to soften. And now let's transition onto the right hip. Over here on your right hip, you're gonna wanna pull the blanket over to the opposite side. Place the prop in between the legs. And also situate the prop here at your back. Letting your right arm extend long in front of you, left hand on top. Relax your head on the blanket and then inhale and lift that left arm all the way up and over to rest on the waiting blanket behind you. Soften in and support yourself with any extra blankets as you need. Find the gaze for your head that works the best and close the eyes. When we rest in stillness and silence, we allow the inner language and wisdom of the body to be heard. With no distraction, it begins to talk to us, to have space, to have a dialogue. And so whatever's starting to arise here, whether it's a peacefulness or even a sense of agitation, just allow all of that to be. It's all useful. It's all knowledge for you to inquire into, to point you in the direction of where you want to go. Trust that your body can show you the way. Taking one last breath here. On an inhale, flow your left arm back to the right. Exhale when you land, softening into the shoulders. Move the prop out from between the legs. Push your hands into the floor and come up sideways. Spinning around on your mat, we'll move the flat bolster off to the side and set up for supported reclining hero. We'll want to have a bolster ramp here to accommodate the sensation that might occur in the legs, because this can be a pretty intense posture. So add as much props as you need. Find your way to your blocks first, and we're going to angle one on the tallest height and then one on medium height, and take one of the flat bolsters to ramp up. Now what I like to do here is angle the blocks inward at a 45-degree angle to give the bolster some extra height. You'll place one blanket on top. The rectangle fold blanket comes here on top. Another blanket's going to be rolled. So take the long side of a basic fold and just roll it up, one on either side. You can do the long side or the short side, or whatever's going to work best for you to create a rolled blanket, placing those on either side of you. With this last blanket, fold it into a tight double square fold. Now, depending on your body, this is either going to be support for your head or support here to sit on to make this posture more accessible. So I'm going to today place this right here at the base of the bolster, and then slide my legs along either side so that when I sit down, I'm going to take my thumbs into the inner knees and roll the calves out and sit down. Got a little bit more lift. It's going to create more ease in your low back as you come down. So these blankets are going to serve as rests for your arms. The knees do not have to touch together. They can be apart. Now, if you're already here and feeling it, I would recommend using the variation with a chair or a couch. And again, you can find that variation in my book. Otherwise, you can take a half hero, extending one leg and doing one leg at a time, which looks a little something like this, if that's more accessible for you. I'm going to show you this variation today. So tilting the tailbone up, lengthening your low back against the bolster, lower yourself down. Head meets the bolster here, readjusting as you need, and then the arms come here, resting on the blankets. If you need more support for your head, you can grab another thin blanket and place it there. Close the eyes. This might feel like a strong sensation on the tops of the thighs. So again, build yourself up higher so that this feels comfortable and soothing for your body. And then just allow yourself to relax into it. I'll give you some space here to explore the breath. And I recommend lengthening the exhale. So you can try on a count of inhale to 4 and exhale to 6 or maybe even 8. Rather than trying to gather more breath in to accomplish that, just slow down the breath with what you already have, so it feels easy and effortless. And let one more breath begin to guide you toward movement. Finding movement in the hands. Letting the chin be tucked inward. Exhale, push into the palms. Lift up, opening the eyes. Coming all the way up and forward with your hands into table. Stretch one leg back at a time, tucking those toes under so you can feel all of the blood and the energy rush back into each knee. Go slowly and carefully. Finally, coming to a seat. Extending the legs straight out in front if you like, or coming to a cross-legged seat. And we're going to clear everything off the mat as we rest in our final position, basic relaxation pose. Now that your mat is clear, let's take one flat bolster and place it widthwise across the mat at one side, and a square fold blanket, folding a basic fold blanket again and placing that at the other side for your head. You can turn this into a headrest blanket if you know how, but for our purposes, we're just gonna keep it simple. Drape your knees over top of the flat bolster and then grab a last blanket, one of those rectangle folds, and roll it up, or you can just use that existing roll that you already had for your arms in the blast pose and place that underneath your ankles. Lie onto your back, tilting your tailbone forward and under, and resting your head with the neck free on the blanket. Make any last adjustments here so you'll stay warm, you'll be comfortable. Opening your legs wide and your arms wide, turn the palms up. If you like, you can reach each arm across the body to ensure that the shoulder blade gets some space in between the scapula here toward the spine, and then open up. And close the eyes. And with an exhale, relax the whole body. Let the breath be natural and fluid. Letting go of any micro tensions in the forehead, the eyes, cheeks, and jaw. Feel that inner, peaceful, true nature energy come alive. Resting in the diamond that resides in the solar plexus. This city of jewels, Manipura Chakra. Feeling your luminance. Resting in that until I bring you out. Staying present. Before you move and transition, let these words become your own, planted like seeds in your consciousness. I let my light shine so I may fully manifest my life purpose. I let my light shine so I may fully manifest my life purpose. I let my light shine so I may fully manifest my life purpose. Begin to move and stretch yourself however you like. Bend your knees in. Roll to a side, curling up into a ball. Reaffirming, I let my light shine so I may fully manifest my life purpose. Slowly rise to a seated position. Bring the palms together at the heart and let the chin bow down and in. In honor of all the realized beings who have come before to bring these practices to us. Relax your palms. Begin to open your eyes, coming back into the space. What an honor to share this luminous practice with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like and check out all the other chakra restorative yoga practices. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Turn on those bell notifications so we can relax again together sometime soon.